Hello everyone and welcome to another episode in the world of the Mark 1 Preservation Club. This is more of a special episode for that sort of group and rather an update really. The group is growing enormously ever since we started the group over 2 years ago now. It's gone like that. There are events posted everywhere. We have some very small local meets and obviously big main events that you'll be aware about if you're a member. If you're not a member, you're not privy to that. But if you're a member, then you will know exactly what we're about and what we are doing. And well, quite frankly, the group has grown not in terms of numbers, but in terms of enthusiasm. And quite frankly, we've managed to find so many fantastic people who actually, some of them, strangely enough, own their focuses because of how nice the group is, not because of the car necessarily, although the car is a draw obviously. We've had a few people like that, which is just ridiculous, and it's just a credit to everyone, not including myself but including everybody else who runs the club and organises everything on my behalf, which is quite a bit, I can tell you. There's a lot of things that go on in the background that people are not aware about, that people don't see and just think, well, it's just there. So yeah, we've got that kind of group and it's growing really, really quickly. So I'm really pleased to say that. And it's more of a social group than a car group where people socialise more or less. I'm afraid some people start car clubs on the basis of actually what they're looking to get out of it rather than what you're looking to put in. And if you're always looking to put in rather than take out, you always end up taking out way more than you put in. So that's my emphasis there. But I believe that some car clubs in the past have been started for all the wrong reasons really. For instance, at a show, 50 Shades, I'm not being funny, people know who this car is. They see it every time on YouTube, every month these days. It tends to be one of these background cars. 50 Shades is having a bit of a quiet life at the moment. I've decided this year that she's going to remain off the roads. Sorry to all those that want to see her, but this car is going to stay off the road this year, which is why she has not been seen. There are no issues. I've deliberately done this because I think this car needs a break, and I cannot justify in the summer months paying tax on that, paying tax on Ruby and paying tax on this. And those of you who know how expensive that is, being a 2-litre auto, and how expensive this is being a 1.6 auto, and what two of the most expensive Mark 1s to tax, I am not paying the sum of what would be almost £85 just for taxing all three of them. And I'm not going to use all three of them effectively within a month's period. And there are 3 months where that could happen. So I'm not doing it. And on the basis that actually I've got enough going on with this car is coming up in absolute amazing. It's a workhorse. It's never going to be it's not going to be this. Because if it was this, it'd be in a garage. And that's the point. You can't keep making cars nice and then not using them. That's the problem I'm facing. So that's deliberately a little bit careworn, and it will remain careworn because it's a better car because it's careworn, not because it's like this. So 50 Shades will not be coming out this year. I will be doing little jobs on her, one of which is happening today actually. As I say, I filmed this job on Mr. Ink. It is the pollen filter. We have a brand new pollen filter. I'll just show you that in a second. But I have been given some lovely mud flaps. Now I thought, oh, the mud flaps on this, they don't look too bad. So I'm not going to use it for this. I'm going to go back to what I did previously. Now, years ago, I did have rear mud flaps on 50 Shades, but I got rid of them because they got scratched and damaged so easily. They maybe were poor quality, but they are very plasticky, these mud flaps. But I have fitted some. Thanks, Mark. These have come out of a new old stock set that he had just lying around. And those of you know, we've got 2 fixings down here and a clip that is just here. Though getting that clip on is a bit of an ass. Getting it off is even more difficult. But I'll tell you something, 50 Shades looks a lot nicer at the back with those mud flaps. Really complete. The only thing I will say is there's a bit of a gap between where's my finger? There's a bit of a gap between where the plastic arch liner finishes and the mud flap, but it doesn't really matter. It should be really more complete if you've got the carpets. It should be like this, really, because the carpets come right down and meet the mud flap quite nicely, whereas these are a bit more of a universal fit. But I'm hoping a few people have had a go at fitting these plastic arch liners, and I'd recommend it. It's not preferable for every Mark 1. This car has done 20 years with its carpet liners, and look how good it is. So clearly this car, galvanisation wise, isn't as affected as this car. 100% were the O2 registrations, and certain 03 registrations really poorly built in terms of the body galvanising. I think this is one of them. Even in a garage environment, she's showing signs of pitting in places again. Goodness me, I think this just wouldn't be viable as a workhorse. It just wouldn't be. It would have gone too far, even for me to deal with. So yeah, anyway, that's what's happening with 50 Shades this year. You will not see 50 Shades. As far as, just to clarify things, because people keep asking me and I didn't make things clear here, the steering rack issue. Okay, so what I've done is I've popped the original steering rack in gear, because it was all there, and there's nothing wrong with the inner trap rods or the outer ones, because they've been changed. And I've put it back on, and the steering is, honestly, it's fractionally off. I suspect that's because of the new wishbones as well as the subframe. The subframe lines up perfectly. You get a 14mm socket and you put it through those two mounting holes and it should slip straight through, and it blooming well does. There's nothing wrong with that subframe. In fact, one member had an issue where he thought it was the subframe, that was a new subframe that was causing a tracking issue. Turned out they hadn't torqued up one of the inner rear bush on one of his wishbones. That, remember, you have to torque them up, and then it's a degree turn, because they're torqued to yield bolts on those bottom wishbone arms, okay, especially the inner bushes, okay. You've got the two bolts for the train arm rear bush on the front wishbone. That was the one he didn't tie up, and it wouldn't track well. It would track properly, but it would veer off. So if you've got those issues, I suggest you just check them bolts if you've changed that lower arm. But anyway, let's get in. I'm just going to show you this before I pop off. Put my torch on. Okay. We've got the new stuff here, and we've got the original stuff, yeah, which is falling apart. In fact, I'll just take that off. You can see where that's been sitting on there. I will clean that up, but yep, that is ready for the bin. I'm going to clean all this up as well. We've got, actually the clips are intact on this one. We've got an intact couple of clips there. Did well with 50 Shades, and it is, look at this. This is the, you know what this is? This is the tree outside of my flat, raining on this car for years. This stuff must have been here for years, because this has been garaged for a while now. Got tons of leaves down there. I'm just going to have to fish all that out and clean it all up. But yeah, well, it's another job for another day. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you be. I've got a big job to do, and I shall see you in another episode. Onwards and upwards with the Preservation Club. Take care. I'd say a job well done on that one. That pollen filter will be staying in there for probably, well, judging on the condition of the old one, which wasn't actually as bad as what I thought. I thought it was dirtier than that. I changed that 4 years ago in 2021, before my YouTube days. And apart from a load of leaves, which ideally I should have really bought a hose down, my flexible hose, and washed all that away, but ideally most of it's gone. Yeah, it's quite dusty on the wiper arm side, but you never have to get that side of the scuttle off unless you're having to change ball joints in your wiper arms. That's something that this car may never see, because it's never going to be driven in the wet as far as I can help it. But Mr. Ink, depending on the amount of weather that this car encounters, it is a common fault with the wipers where the ball joints come off and you lose your wipers. There is a fix. You can get brand new arms for that. But apart from that, really clean and tidy, and yeah, that pollen filter won't have to be changed for another 10-15 years at this rate, even probably longer than that. So there you go. Just a little example of a little job that needs doing. And the mud flaps tidied the car up. We're well on the way to getting this car to where she needs to be, and hoping to put this in for some concourse competitions in about 2 years' time, specifically 2 years for a reason. Anyway, I shall see you in another episode. If you have a Mark 1 Focus and you haven't found our club, what are you doing? Especially if you live in the UK. We mainly cater for UK cars, but we open our arms to everybody, as always. Anyway, you take care. I shall see you in another episode, and farewell.